Hello, I'm State Representative Larry Taylor. It's been an honor for me to serve in the Texas Legislature for the past 9 years as a representative for the people of House District 24. I grew up in this district. My wife and I raised our 3 kids here, and I run a family-owned insurance agency that has been serving this area for 50 years. In this past legislative session, one of the most critical issues for my district and all residents of the Texas Gulf Coast was the reform of the Texas Windstorm Insurance Association, commonly referred to as TWIA. When Hurricane Ike struck our area in 2008, there were over 93,000 claims filed with TWIA. Unfortunately, about 2,400 of these were complicated slab claims, where nothing is left but a slab due to a combination of wind and wave action. These claims were grouped together and were all settled in either a class action or a global settlement. Some other claims just were not handled well and also went into litigation. As a co-chairman of a committee with the oversight of TWIA, I needed to know how those claims were settled. After a costly and contentious 4-month legal battle with some of the plaintiff attorneys, I was finally given access to the information of how these claims were settled. These slab claims took over 2 years to be resolved and proved to be very expensive in terms of the legal costs. Upon receipt of the information, it was very obvious why the plaintiff attorneys would have preferred that the details not have been made public. For the slab claims, the insureds did finally receive what they were owed, $101 million. The attorneys, who in most cases did very little work for each claimant, received an additional $55.5 million. Towards the end of session, I asked for additional information on how the other mediated settlements were going. Another 1,110 cases had been settled at that time for $100.7 million. Estimating attorney fees for these settlements at 25% and adding the $48 million TWIA paid to its defense attorneys for all the above litigation, we found that for TWIA to pay $177 million to repair 3,500 properties, they paid additional litigation costs of $129 million. For every dollar paid to repair a property, an additional 73 cents was paid for litigation. That is too long and too expensive, and we can do better. No one should want to repeat this terribly inefficient and expensive process, except maybe the attorneys. TWIA is a quasi-state agency established to provide property owners in coastal counties the ability to purchase windstorm, hurricane, and hail coverage. It's basically a co-op. There's no profit motive, and all the costs are borne by the policyholders, with the exception of a catastrophic event when coastal policyholders and insurers all over the state help to pay claims. TWIA's sole purpose is to issue policies and pay claims promptly and fairly. When they don't do that, you fire the people responsible. You don't increase the premiums that other policyholders pay in order to pay an enhanced penalty that primarily incentivizes and benefits attorneys. Our efforts to reform TWIA were all about changing the people in charge, increasing public transparency, streamlining the renewal of policies, and designing a process that will ensure people are treated fairly and quickly when they have a claim, thereby reducing unnecessary litigation costs and trying to keep the premiums we pay into TWIA affordable. However, if at the end of the claims process a TWIA policyholder is still unhappy with their settlement, they can still go to court. We suffered enough from the natural disaster of Hurricane Ike, but we can't afford a repeat of the man-made legal catastrophe that followed. It's my hope that the reforms we put in place will solve these serious problems because Texans deserve better. Thank you for your time, and may God bless Texas.